Hello VC, Mark here. Welcome to the 10th installment of my 7-inch single series. I thought we'd do a little something different and look at some extended plays, some 7-inch EPs. I'm going to focus on one set, but I'd like to show you just a few from back in the day, from the late 50s. The extended play was brought to market in 1949 by the Radio Corporation of America. They were popular in the United States, I would say, until approximately the early 60s. They fell out of favor to the just the 7-inch single. They lasted a lot longer in the UK, but I love them. There were loads of fantastic EPs issued, lots of them within a series with several different volumes. Atlantic Records released so many great EPs. I just picked one to show you. This is The Genius of Ray Charles. And this collects 4 tracks: Let the Good Times Roll, Come Rain or Come Shine, Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying, one of Brian Wilson's favorite songs. He does a beautiful rendition of that track. And then Alexander's Ragtime Band. And that was issued on the classic black and white label. Let's see, I wanted to grab a female artist from that label, same time period. This is Betty Johnson, The Little Blue Man. Of course, the title track, Winter in Miami, which sounds really nice right now. We are in the midst of a snow/freezing rainstorm. It's very cold. I can't complain too loud. We have really had no winter to speak of. Let's see, In Other Words, and then Wrong. And this was issued on that same black and white label. Picked a nice jazz release. This is on MRC, Max Roach with Clifford Brown. Beautiful blue back. Green, and this is part 3 of, I believe, a four-part set. Could be mistaken there. Anyway, these are fun to collect. If I went down this rabbit hole, I'd never come up, so I'm just a casual collector of EPs. There were tons of rock and roll EPs issued, lots of Elvis Presley, the Everleys, just lots of great stuff. We're going to focus on this great box from the Beatles EP collection. This was released in 1981. Let's see, BEP 14. This collects a lot of their early EPs to, I would say, mid-career. Beautifully done. One thing about this box, and also the box that the blue box with the LPs, you have to be very careful opening the box because it's delicate and it flips out, so I always kind of support the flap with my hand. You don't want it to rip off. I'm just going to take all of the EPs out right now. And we'll just go through these briefly. You may or may not know I'm a huge fan of the Beatles. I love their entire catalog. Their early work just really resonates with me, reminds me of my childhood. I remember we had an RCA 45 player in the house, and it was probably from my mom's teen years, and just stacks of 45s, Elvis, the Beatles, the Everleys, and this is where I first discovered their music. I was probably 6 or 7 years old. I was just so taken by Ringo. Started playing the drums not soon after. I Want to Hold Your Hand was the first song I remember learning on the drums. Just the visual component of the group and that great music, those great rock and roll covers. I think one of my first albums that my mother bought was the Beatles Rock and Roll Music Volume 1. And I think it had Twist and Shout, I Saw Her Standing There, I Want to Hold Your Hand, all early classics. All right, let's get going with the first one, the Beatles Million Sellers. And that's in mono. Most of these EPs are in mono. UK sleeve with, I call that the flip back. She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Can't Buy Me Love, I Feel Fine. 4 really strong Lennon and McCartney tracks. Again, especially that first album, so good. The Beatles kind of cut their teeth from 60 through 62 in Germany. They were tight as a drum, really honed their craft by the time they got into the studio. And just the excitement of all those live performances really comes through on that album. Again, I Want to Hold Your Hand is just still one of my favorite songs. They did a really nice job replicating the label. And the center spindle is actually perforated, so you could pop that out if you had a changer with that spindle. I don't know who would want to do that, but that was an option. This next one is great too. Just a great picture of the Beatles, Twist and Shout. And they own that song. That was originally recorded by the Isley Brothers. Their version is my favorite. Just incredible. You all know the story about how it was recorded. John's voice was his vocal cords were just shredded, and boy, that comes through on the recording. One of their hardest rocking tracks, in my opinion. And then you have A Taste of Honey. That was from cover from back in their Hamburg days. Not too crazy about that one. Do You Want to Know a Secret? There's a Place. Again, 2 great tracks. Next one is All My Loving. And that's that classic Robert Freeman print. I love the contrast against the pink banner. And this, of course, has the title track, Ask Me Why, Money, another great cover, and then P.S. I Love You. Just an excellent EP. I love P.S. I Love You. Again, the Beatles' harmonies were always top-notch. I know John, Paul, and George spent a lot of time just kind of perfecting their vocals, and even early on, very sophisticated, just wonderful. Another iconic shot. This is the Beatles, number 1. And you know that picture from the Red album. I Saw Her Standing There. Awesome. Misery. So-so. I'm not too crazy about that one. And then a cover of Anna, Go to Him, In Chains, Goffin King song. Really nice. Extracts from the film A Hard Day's Night. Again in mono. I Should Have Known Better. If I Fell. Really love that one. I am a sucker for a Beatles ballad any day of the week. Tell Me Why. And I Love Her. Again, and the hallmark of Lennon and McCartney's compositions is their melody, how they wrote their melody lines. They are flawless. I can't recall an artist with a body of work that has so many memorable tracks. They were just masters at melody. John and Paul were really competitive with each other, and that really kind of stands out in the progression of their songwriting. Just always trying to one-up each other, and so glad they did, because again, their catalog is just something else. Next one is Long Tall Sally. Really cool EP, and this was reissued a few years back as a record store day release. They covered Long Tall Sally, awesome Little Richard track, I Call Your Name. Side 2 has 2 more covers, Slow Down and Matchbox by Carl Perkins. Here are the boys all suited up, Beatles for Sale number 2. Again, this one is also in mono, and I don't know, it still has that same label. I'll Follow the Sun, Babies in Black, love that one. Words of Love, Buddy Holly cover, and then I Don't Want to Spoil the Party. I'll Follow the Sun is so beautiful. Let's see, Paul solos with double track vocals here and there. Let's see, Buddy Holly composition sung by John and Paul. Love how they give that information. This is one of the few stereo mixes. This is the Beatles. And there are some fun facts on the back. This includes The Inner Light, Baby You're a Rich Man, She's a Woman, and This Boy. And let's see, for example, The Inner Light. Originally, this was issued as the B-side of the single Lady Madonna in 1968. However, this is the first time the track has been released in stereo. And again, remember, this is 1981. Let's see, Baby You're a Rich Man. Released in mono in 1967 as the B-side of All You Need Is Love. This stereo version has only appeared on the UK cassette of Magical Mystery Tour and on the German issue of the Magical Mystery Tour album. So, really cool with this one. I believe they changed the label on this one. This is a later Parlophone. The most covered song ever, Yesterday. Another great picture of the guys. Act Naturally, that was a Ringo track. If You Like Me Too Much, and It's Only Love. Just a beautiful EP. Again, Paul's songwriting. What really sticks out when I hear his songs are his chord leading. Just beautiful. Again, these guys were not trained musicians, but they listened to everything. I'm sure from Paul's childhood, his father was a pianist. All those classics that he heard in his house, those really informed his songwriting. And that composition is just beautiful. It's perfect. And Paul's bass playing, his counterpoint, is just really something else. Again, I don't think Paul knew intrinsically what he was doing when he was writing, but it was just really excellent composition. Just perfect. The next one is the Beatles Hits. I believe that's the cover on the VJ album. We have From Me to You, Thank You Girl, Please Please Me, and Love Me Do. I would say Thank You Girl is the favorite on this one. Was never too taken by Love Me Do. Again, on that classic label. Beatles for Sale. This is, we all kind of rate our favorite albums. Well, Rubber Soul is my favorite. This one is definitely in the top 5. Love this LP. No Reply, I'm a Loser. Great cover of Chuck Berry's Rock and Roll Music, and then 8 Days a Week. Excellent. And it's really nice hearing these in mono. These were really well done. I don't know. I'm not a person who reads the dead wax and can tell what master it came from, but these do sound really, really good. More extracts from the album A Hard Day's Night. love this orange and black and white cover. Really cool. Anytime at all, I'll cry instead. Things we said today and when I get home. Let's see, I'll Cry Instead would probably be my favorite out of those four. Okay. Speaking of favorites, my favorite EP out of the lot, Nowhere Man. Boy's looking very cool. George was so cool, he didn't even need the sunglasses. It says Nowhere Man, Drive My Car, Michelle, and You Won't See Me. Again, just Rubber Soul being my favorite Beatles LP. My favorite John Lennon composition is on that one, In My Life. It's just flawless. I prefer it over Revolver. I actually prefer the US tracking as opposed to the UK version. Just excellent. And then the last item that was included in the set is this really nice presentation of Magical Mystery Tour. And this comes with two EPs, nice black sleeve. With this very nice booklet. I love that bus. Some great shots. They included the lyrics to the tracks. Love The Fool on the Hill. It's a great song. Blue Jay Way, Your Mother Should Know. I Am the Walrus. Great stuff. And then the song listing, Magical Mystery Tour, Your Mother Should Know, I Am the Walrus, The Fool on the Hill, Flying, and Blue Jay Way. So very nicely done. So I really love this set. This set isn't terribly expensive. If you break it down, it's probably about $10 or $12 per EP. Again, very nice set. The sound quality is very good. Just something special to have. Again, it's just a pretty basic box with their signatures. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.